Hey guys, Arielle here, and in this video I'm going to be taking the opportunity to show and compare and give my review, I guess, of Claude Code versus OpenAI's Codex. So over the past couple of weeks I've been working on 3 projects. 2 were for clients and the third was my Smart Directory Pro theme and plugin. And I'm always grateful that I have my own projects that I'm working on so I can show some of this stuff because I can't with the other stuff. And I've been using both Claude Code and OpenAI Codex for different parts of each of these projects. So I only recently started using OpenAI's Codex, but I found some things to be consistent across these 3 very different projects. So I'm going to open both up and show you how I'm using them both together because we do have a mixture in the audience, I gather from the emails that I get. So going to go a bit more beginner-esque on this one. And to run Claude Code, we are in VS Code right now. You can run it in Cursor. I've been told off for doing so. There are some security risks, but you can run it in Cursor. Cursor is a fork of VS Code, but it doesn't have the security updates and whatnot for these additional plugins. I think that's the gist of why you shouldn't do it in Cursor or Windsurf or any of those IDEs. But in any case, we're in VS Code. If you go to extensions, you'll see Claude Code for VS Code and you'll see Codex. And we've also got Klein and a bunch of other stuff. Docker, you should have Docker installed if you're doing anything in Cursor or VS Code, but another video for another day. So I've got Claude Code installed and I've got Codex. Claude Code I typically run from the terminal here, but if you go up in the corner, you can see both the OpenAI logo and the Claude Code logo. So you can just click on them to shortcut them. So OpenAI opens up in the left side and then we've got Claude Code here, or you can run it in the terminal. For some reason, my brain is just primed to have it in the terminal. So I'm going to open that up in here. I'm not sure why. I don't think it makes a difference. But if you want to run it in the terminal for whatever reason, just type in Claude and it will come up, of course, once it's installed. If it's not, it's going to tell you need to do something, update, or this doesn't exist, this command doesn't exist. So we've got Claude Code and we've got OpenAI Codex. So the project that I'm working on that I can share bits and pieces of information on is my Smart Directory Pro plugin. And what I've been working on over the past, I want to say month, is refactoring to clean up a lot of the code. And also, if you've worked on WordPress, on any WordPress plugins or WordPress themes, you'll know that you can have everything in the functions file, or you can have that in modular pieces of code, which is what I've been doing. So if you start a plugin and it's quite small to begin with, but you just keep adding to it, everything's going to get congested. So my functions file was around 12,000 lines of code. And actually my bulk publishing plugin, that's around 30 something thousand lines of code. Refactoring that has been a pain. When I saw this was at 12,000 lines, I knew I had to do something about it. So I've got my local WordPress up here. If you're doing anything, you definitely want to have WordPress installed in a container. You can do that from Cursor or from VS Code. It will spin it up for you. You have to have Docker installed. If you're curious, I'm running my local WordPress through local WP. I do have some videos on it, so you can go and find those. It's anything to do with WordPress and Lovable or conversions. You can go and find those videos and I talk all about it. But I'm going to get straight into the comparison. So as I've said, I've used both Claude Code and Codex on 3 different projects and also many small things in between. And what I've noticed is that Claude Code is very good for the technical side of things. So when you're installing MCPs, when you're getting it to do anything from your knowledge base and your files, getting it to implement APIs and check documentation, all of that stuff, Claude Code excels. But if you've noticed, Claude Code's design leaves a lot to be desired. It's not the best, it's very bog standard. And even with a lot of prompting and a lot of, guidance, it still doesn't it's not very creative. And what I found is that OpenAI's Codex is the opposite. So yes, it can handle a lot of the technical stuff, but I still prefer Claude Code's output to OpenAI's Codex, because Claude Code just seems to have a better grasp on the file system and, again, the technical stuff. But Codex, on the other hand, does a much better job of fixing some of those structural issues that Claude Code causes. Anything to do with UI, front end, structure, styling, themes, all of that stuff, Codex absolutely batters Claude Code. So for that reason, I find myself telling Codex to do one thing and then telling Claude Code to do the other. And this can be quite dangerous because you don't ever want to be getting both models or both tools editing or messing with the same files at the same time. So you have to be very careful, very strategic with how you do that. And I admit I've not yet got the best system to do this beyond having a good knowledge base and beyond being very specific with each of them on what they're doing and what they're not doing. So I'm still using my Claude Code sub-agents as I'm running through things, finding bugs, fixing bugs. But I'm also paying attention to when Claude Code is struggling with something and then stopping it, taking all the information that it's given me and then giving that to OpenAI Codex to see what it does. And that's where I found that sometimes Claude Code is just completely missing the thing, missing the fix, especially when it comes to layout or something not right, something that's not right. So something like a persistent, something is above the nav bar and it keeps telling me that it's fixed there and it's telling me which files it's in, what it's edited, and it's just not quite getting it. I'll then ask it, what am I missing? And it's going to give me a full breakdown. I give that breakdown to OpenAI Codex and then it just fixes it after so much back and forth. So for that reason, I'm keeping both tools. And Codex, of course, is included with the standard ChatGPT subscription. So $20 or £20. And I'm still currently paying for the medium tier on Claude Code. So I'm paying £90 a month for that. But I recently hit the limit, the usage limit on Codex, and I hadn't hit it previously. And I thought because I'm using both models, that would be fine. I'd be able to drop down on Claude Code, but I don't see that happening just yet. So I do have the two. So it's costing me a bit more now. In any case, I'm going to go ahead and talk to each of these for different things. So as I mentioned, I've been refactoring some code, and here's a great example. We've got this critical issue. I'm going to ask Claude Code to go and check it out. There's nothing in the console. So I'm going to ask Claude Code to check the debug logs. I could navigate to it myself, but we are lazy vibe coders, so I'm going to paste this in, getting this error. And of course, if you want to be extra lazy, you know you can install Whisper and just tell it, please check the debug logs. Just tell it. You don't even have to type anymore. But sometimes I forget how lazy I can actually be and I type. So typically Claude Code is good at fixing fatal errors, anything like that, critical errors. Because this is local WP, we have full access to the debug log. I don't have to go into cPanel, into the file system when something breaks. I can just talk to it. It has full access to everything, so it can fix it in the backend. So it seems to have found the issue, and it's to do with the refactoring. So this is where I'm at now. We're in the functions file. The 12,000 lines of code have apparently been all converted into modular bytes of code based on the feature of the tool. However, when the AI tells you it's done something, you cannot take that for face value, which is what I'm dealing with now. But the good thing is, if you vibe coded a project and maybe you started 6 months ago and you weren't doing things the way following best practices, you can go through and start to clean that up rather than scrapping it and starting over again. So we're going to work through this refactoring, and as I'm working through, I'm cleaning up the code. So it's found this fatal error, it's fixed it, it's told me what it was caused by, so function being declared in 2 files. So this is again to do with the refactoring, and I know I have plenty more of these to come. So slowly working my way through it. Perfect example of Claude Code and its technical ability. And that's not to say that Codex wouldn't have or couldn't have done that. I just know that if something like that happens, I'm going straight to Claude Code, because within that one prompt or 1 or 2 prompts, as long as you know where the issue is. So in this case, I didn't know, but I told it to check the debug logs. If you know where the issue is and you give Claude Code as much information as possible, so you actually have an idea of what the issue is and you're not just saying, fix it, with no context, it's going to do a good job 9 out of 10 times. Because that already works, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So I don't need OpenAI to do that for me. And in some cases, I have asked it to do things more technical, and again, not to say that it can't, just that sometimes it misses it, in the same way that sometimes Claude Code says it's done something on the front end, a design thing, a fix, and it hasn't, and it assures me that it has. So part of the refactoring of the theme is this section here, which is clearly broken, the footer is not showing up, and I'm going to give that task to Codex. Over in Codex, we've got chat or plan, we've got agent. So the tooltip says requires approval to make edits and run commands. Agent reads files, makes edits, and runs commands in the workspace. And then this is the same as agent, but it's a super agent. It can access the internet and edit files outside of the workspace. So I've got it on full access, and then I've got it on GPT-5 Codex medium. So we've got low, answers very quickly, medium, thinks quickly, and then high, thinks longer for better answers. I find medium to be the most relevant when I'm asking it to do basic tasks. When I'm asking it to fix something or find something, or true to its description, think longer for better answers, I'll switch it to high. And I'm assuming, I don't know this for sure, but I'm assuming each of them take a certain amount of your credits, and I don't know what the limit is on that, but I'm guessing if you use long for everything and it thinks longer, it's going to take longer and it's going to use more of your usage limit. I also noticed that when I hit my usage limit, the wait time was over 2 days, which was a long time. It's a very interesting wait limit. So I had to completely leave it alone and rely on Claude Code for everything. So I didn't touch anything structural until now. And what I like about Codex is I can upload images. So this Codex is more similar to Cursor and Windsurf and Tray AI, and I think those are the main IDEs that I can think off the top of my head. But it's more similar to those 3 than it is Claude Code, because Claude Code you're opening in the terminal. I would compare Claude Code and Gemini CLI, but because you can use them both in VS Code, and people are kind of comparing them as the 2 models going head to head, the 2 most recent models, people often ask which is better, but they're completely different tools. Codex is essentially Windsurf's competitor, Cursor's competitor, just based on the UI, how you can add files and do all of those kind of things. So just to give an example of a front end UI kind of thing that I would give to OpenAI, I wouldn't even give to Cursor at this point in my workflow, is I would screenshot and I would tell it the issue. So the home page is not loading the footer, and the recent businesses cards are only showing 1 card. And this is what it looks like when it's working through. So this is the working tree, preparing to investigate the homepage issues, exploring files. When you click in, you can see what it's doing. Explored files, planning, WordPress setup, explored more files. So you could save it some trouble and tell it exactly where it's looking, because as you can see, it's gone into the app folder and it's looking for the installation, but I didn't tell it anything before that. I just said the homepage isn't loading. So it's looking at my file system to get a better understanding of what the setup is. So I didn't tell it it's a WordPress site, but it can see the files and now it knows what it's looking for. So with every IDE, with every AI thing that you use, it's always best to give it more context. This is what the documentation is for. This is what the change logs are for, because you just tag those files and then it has a full understanding of your project. And also, every time you finish working on your project, you should get it to create a change log or a summary of what you've done in the session. This also helps between the tools. So if I do something, I'm focusing on the front end with Codex, and then I now want to go over to Claude Code, just so it knows what changes we've made, I would tag it in this summary to let it know this is what we've done, these are the changes that were made, and so on and so forth. So it does take longer to work through as it's looking at the files and it's coming to an understanding before it does anything. So it looks like it's not written any lines of code just yet. It's really trying to understand, checking footer inclusion, read footer file, investigating, explore the template parts. And also during its searching, if it finds something that could be part of the issue, then it will address it. If you don't want it to do that, you change it into chat or plan, so you can tell it whether you want it to make changes or not, because as it's gone through, it's found a fatal error. So it's trying to understand what's going on, and then it's found investigating fatal error source. So it's opened the debug log. I didn't have to tell it that. Whereas with Claude Code, I have to be very specific, because it might even suggest that I go and check the debug logs. God forbid. So I let it know that you have full access. You remember the file's right there, so you can go and check the debug log and let me know what you find. But I don't have to do that with Codex. So yeah, still exploring both of these tools. I'm absolutely loving the options that we now have available to us. Try not to get tool fatigue if that's a thing. Try to be in control of the shiny object syndrome. Listen to what people say when it comes to these new tools, whether it's worth your time or not. I tried out the Claude Code. I didn't find it to be very useful. I didn't think it was better than Claude Code, so there's no reason to switch over. So Claude Code is still in the running for me. For now, I'm going to continue using both of the tools, as I've mentioned, playing on their strengths and weaknesses. Hopefully another update comes soon for either tool, and then I'll jump ship and stay there. But I don't actually mind using both tools, and I actually find it quite easy to work with two things in two separate sides, and then of course the file that it's editing typically showing up in this window. So yeah, if you're using either of the tools, let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you want some more videos on my working process, I have been meaning to record more of my vibe coding sessions, because I'm doing them every day anyway, and sharing a bit more of what I'm doing behind the scenes. As I mentioned, I'm still working on Smart Directory Pro. If you found this video useful, drop a like, comment, subscribe, send me a message, reach out to me on all of the different platforms. I'm there, always happy to help, and I'll see you on the next one.